Hello, I'm Kevin Hayes, the Story Man. Welcome to the Nightly Bedtime Story Podcast, where you can hear a bedtime story every night. Tonight's bedtime story is How Brother Rabbit Fooled the Whale and the Elephant. It was written by Aesop. Long title. Better be a good story. Actually, it's kind of a rhyming story. I hope you like it. How Brother Rabbit Fooled the Whale and the Elephant. Written by Aesop. Winston Rabbit came down to the sea, where the waves are high and the wind blows free. And there on the beach he didn't have to hunt to see a big blue whale and an elephant. He jumped in a bush so he could get real close and stretched his ears so he could get a dose of the things they said as they spoke out loud, 'cause they didn't think that they would draw a crowd. Then the elephant bragged that he was biggest on the land, and all the beasts with feet knew he was so grand. Then the whale told how he was largest in the sea, and how the fish and swimming things gave heed to he. These two huge mammals both decided to agree that if they got together, all the animals would see they were big and strong, and they should be kings, and on the land and the sea they should rule everything. Well, the rabbit in the bush heard their grandiose plan, and he laughed when he heard it, 'cause he knew it was a sham. He got an idea of how to have some fun, so he talked to each animal, one-on-one. He got a big rope that was thick and long. To Elephant he went, who was big and strong. "Hey, big guy, can you help me, please? I got a cow in the mud, up past his knees. I got a big rope that can pull him out. I tied it round his neck, right close to his mouth. I'm sure with one big tug and a jerk, you can pull him out so he can do his work." "I'm sure I can do it," said the L with a smirk, "'cause I'm the strongest thing there is on earth." So Winston tied the rope round the elephant's neck, pulled the other into bushes that the big guy hadn't checked. Then he yelled out loud to the big gray beast, till the loudness and the harshness in his voice decreased. "Now wait till you hear me play on my drum, and pull with your might till the job's all done." Then out to the beach he dragged it to the sea, where the whale was a-floatin' as complacent as can be. He knew what to do, he had planned in advance, so he scanned the sea with a searching glance. He walked right up to the whale so blue and began to tell of his predicament too, saying, "Hey, big guy, can you help me, please? I got a cow in the mud up past his knees. I got a big rope that can pull him out. I tied it round his neck right close to his mouth. I'm sure with one big tug and a jerk, you can pull him out so he can do his work." "I'm sure I can do it," said the whale with glee. "I'm the strongest thing that there is in the sea." So Winston tied the rope round the blue whale's tail and pulled it tight till it turned kind of pale. Then he yelled real loud to the big blue beast, till the loudness and the harshness in his voice decreased. "Now wait till you hear me play on my drum, and pull with your might till the job's all done." Then Winston jumped to a bush excitedly, and pounded on his drum as loud as could be. He watched the rope as it jerked real tight when whale and elephant pulled with their might. The elephant said, "That cow's pretty strong. I'll pull a little harder. This won't take very long." He dug in his feet and he gave a good yank, but he didn't have a clue about the rabbit's prank. Then the whale felt a tug as he pulled from the sea, so he flapped his fins so determinedly, and he grit his teeth, gave a mighty jerk, meanwhile laughter in the bushes where the rabbit did lurk. The elephant stepped back, he was pulled so hard. Then he pulled right back because his pride was scarred. "I can't believe to move an ox would be so tough." And the rabbit laughed and laughed till he had enough. The whale got upset about the way he was pulled, so he curved his tail till he could really hold. Then he dived right down into the deep blue, and the rabbit thought his sides were going to split in two. The elephant was dragging, so he grabbed a tree. "This lousy ox ain't going to get the best of me." He pulled with his trunk and he stomped with his feet, and the rabbit had hysterics at this show so sweet. Well, the whale was close to shore from the forceful pull. He decided that to win would be his greatest goal. He shot up in the air with a massive leap, then crashed in the water with a big tail sweep. The rope began to fray like a well-worn strap. Then it broke in two with a very loud snap. The whale lurched in the sea, and the elephant fell, and whale spouted water, and elephant yelled. They each spun round to see the other waiting there. The anger they were feeling was reflected in their stare. They both began to moan about the other's wily ways, and they shouted at each other as they very sternly gazed. "What you doin'?" said the elephant. "Well, I thought that we agreed that we should work together and that we could both succeed, and I can see that you're against me and you'd like to pull me in. I'm dissolving this alliance, for it really does begin." The whale said, "You're a fine one, and you think you are so great. I can see we're not compatible or even can relate. You tried to pull me up on land where I would surely die. I'm not partnering with you. There's no need to ask me why." So the whale and the elephant went far from there real quick, and they never heard the rabbit, who was laughing at his trick. He was rolling in the bushes with hilarity and glee. He prevented giant animals from ruling. Don't you see? The end. Well, when that rabbit heard those two big animals bragging about how they were going to take over the world just because they were bigger than everybody else, he decided he'd put a stop to that. They might have been bigger, but I think he was a little more crafty. And he sure got a laugh out of what he did, tying them together like that, making them work against each other. I bet all the rabbits still laugh about that story today. I hope you liked tonight's bedtime story, How Brother Rabbit Fooled the Whale and the Elephant, written by Aesop. I'm Kevin Hayes, the Story Man. I'll be back tomorrow night to read you another bedtime story. But for tonight, good night.